Amazing, huh? Years later, 11:08 on your Tuesday morning, back with hour number 2 of the Bernie and Sid show right here on legendary 77 WABC, and you hear that song, and it's just amazing how many years later it's nine years.
Can I ask you,
since the last one?
Steve Schirripa from The Sopranos in the studio with us.
How are
do you
guys?
Do you get sick of this?
No, I don't, because you know what? There was nothing before that. I had no career before that. I mean, I had worked a little bit, but that was the thing.
That's what makes you great and a nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm very thankful. I got very lucky. It was like hitting the lottery. It's like if you're going to get on a show, it's hard enough, but to get on that show, I mean, one of the greatest shows in TV history. 9 years later, the show ended in 2007. Wow. I mean, every single day. Yeah. Not a day goes by somebody doesn't say something about the show.
I talked to a lot of you guys, as Bernard does, during the show, since the show. It seemed like the only guy, God rest his soul, that kind of got sick of it was Jimmy. I mean, I think everybody else was like, let's do it again.
Yeah. I think, but you know what? I think if, after a couple years went by, if there was a script, I think he might have did it again. I mean, at the time he was sick of it because he was working, 5 days a week, 18 hours a day. I mean, it drove him crazy.
But he wouldn't have forgotten his roots. In other words,
no.
You see, some of these musical acts, they don't want to do the songs that got them to where they are. And they're like, oh, no, we're going to do this crap here.
And listen, Jim also, was sick of it 2 years before, but he hung around because you're talking, there's the actors, there's the crew, there's everyone counting on you. You got 200 people that, are counting on you to make a paycheck. So there's a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure on to any show where you're the lead guy. I mean, there's an enormous amount of pressure. It's a lot of work. Even when you're not filming, you're learning lines, you're doing this, you're doing that. I mean, yes, a lot of big salaries, and they earn it, man.
You've been with us before, and you've actually answered this question with us, but our audience has grown exponentially since the last time.
Huge. I came on, you had nobody.
Right. So the question, what did you think of the ending?
Oh, well, listen, I liked the ending, and I think we've said it here, but we watched it together, 9 of us.
Right.
I was with you. The Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida.
They paid us. We went on like a little tour.
Yep.
We did Atlantic City Friday night, Foxwoods the Saturday night. We took a private plane down Sunday, and we watched it for the first time, 9 of us together. And some guys liked it. Some guys were baffled.
I hated it.
But as time went on, I also believed the next day I was watching CNN and believing all these conspiracy theories. So I got a little confused. I'm going, did that really happen? Was there a guy? I was doubting myself.
Yeah.
And it's a great episode when you watch it now. Tony Sirico was great.
Yes.
What did he call the cat? A snake with fur? There was some great lines in there. Listen, I don't know how else you could have ended it. Everybody, for some people, every finale never lives up to
Let me just say that you can still watch it, I think, on Netflix. My son binge watched the whole, 8 years?
86 episodes.
Okay, he watched the entire 86 episodes, and we'll watch it again at some point.
And listen, he's
22 years old.
That's what I'm saying. There's younger guys now, here, college kids.
Sure.
They watched it now. These kids were too young 7 years ago. And the show started. The show started in 99, 2000.
He talks about you and the lasagna in the freezer.
When his wife died, terrible. David Chase did come out and say, though, years afterwards, first he let it resonate and people yell and scream back and forth about what really happened. He did come out and say that Tony did not die in the diner that day. He did not die.
I always thought life went on. It's just what you saw is what you saw.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
Everything, the family's back together. Everything just marches on. That's what I thought.
Talking with Steve Schirripa, the great Steve Schirripa, great actor.
You guys are big time now.
Let me tell you how big time we are. Stevie celebrated a birthday 2 days ago. We weren't there. So we're not that big time.
No, but I don't have
Mike
big party.
Francesa, Woody Allen.
I'm old. I'm an old man. I went to the Yankee game. What did I do for my birthday?
That's nice.
I don't know. You had some big shindig at...
No, that was last month.
Oh, that wasn't his birthday.
That wasn't a birthday party. No.
So you did go to... But anyway, Steve Schirripa, first, before we continue, he's a big actor now on Blue Bloods. Every Friday night, 10 o'clock. He's got a prominent role.
Great show.
works with in the prosecutor's office.
I'm a DA investigator, Anthony Abademarco. I joined last October. I signed on for a bunch more episodes this year, so I'll be around a lot more.
That. And it's a prominent role.
Yeah, it's a great role. It's a great show.
Yes, it is.
Well-written show. I mean, it's well acted, well written. I worked with Tom Selleck for the first time. He was a great guy.
And Tom Brady's ex,
Bridget Moynahan. She's great actress. And I've worked with some great ones, and she's as good as anybody.
Marky Mark's brother, who's fantastic. Donnie Wahlberg.
Yes, I've worked with him. He's a really good guy.
And he's married to what's her name, the blonde that he.
It's a great cast. It's
Jenny McCarthy.
It's a great cast. I mean, well-written show.
It is.
Going into the 7th season. Wow. I mean, does 12, 13 million people on a Friday night.
On a Friday night. I know. I watch it. It's fantastic. It's riveting.
It's a very well done show.
Now, on top of that, besides the success of that show where you're great, I've been reading, you can confirm and or deny this, I've been reading that Woody Allen is about to do a new movie in New York. Kate Winslet will be the female star, and that you and Tony Sirico are going to play gangsters.
There's a good possibility that
that'll be
fantastic. Yeah, baby.
There's a good possibility.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Woody Allen fan. From when I was in high school, before I ever thought about being an actor. So I met him. I met him on this other project. The Amazon show, and I went in to audition for him, and I didn't have to, she said, you're not going to have much time, and he kind of was in the shadows, and about speak up, read this. So I went in there, and it was like different than your usual audition, and I said to myself, if I got 1 minute, I'm going to talk about the Knicks, right? And I'm going to get a little time.
You never saw each other there at the Garden?
Yeah, I said hello, but I started talking. I said this before they fired Derek Fisher. I said, Woody, Derek Fisher's got to go. He said, yeah, you think so? I said, yeah. We need a point guard. So I got about 4 minutes in, and I didn't get that role, but then.
That was your audition right there. That's what got you.
I said, let's, I don't have much time, so let's do it, And he's a huge Knick fan.
Huge. Huge.
Now, listen, you also sell this sauce. It's fantastic. Uncle Steve's.
I brought a bunch of sauce for you guys. I brought UncleStevesNY.com. Well, now we're in Whole Foods, ShopRite, Stop and Shop. Soon to be Fresh Direct. We just signed on Friday.
That's huge.
So Fresh Direct, you can get it all over the tri-state area.
Listen, it tastes like what your mother used to make.
It really
That's what
is.
It tastes like.
We're in 2,500 stores. I mean, we're throughout the country. We're in L.A. now. All Albertsons out there and all stores. I mean, we're only in business 2 years. We're growing. And then I brought you shirts now.
Yes.
You see the shirt I brought you. Now, every Italian knows. Every Italian has gotten hit with a wooden spoon when they were younger.
That's funny.
Wooden spoon survivor.
That's funny.
That's right. That's
and
hilarious.
you can get them. We sell those online. And every Italian knows, you're on a Sunday, your mother's stirring the sauce, you do something wrong, whack.
With the spoon.
Right on the back.
Yep.
It's a sauce and everything on your back.
In my case, it was a mashed potato utensil.
Everybody's
my case was $100 bill, because of course I'm Jewish. And also there are rumors that you're going to be on QVC, even going to school for this stuff. How about that?
You got to go to QVC school. I've had literally thousands of TV appearances. Literally, I've been on the TV probably well over 1,000 times or
movies
more.
and all kinds of stuff.
And I have to take a course, 8-hour course, to do it the QVC way, which is fine.
Really?
And soon I'll go on and we'll sell our sauce to the masses.
Let me just say one way to sell it to the housewives is to say you get a case of sauce, for example, or you get a case, put it in the closet, take out 4 or 5 bottles, put it in a pot, and pretend like you made it. Put it in the pot and stir it.
They would never know.
You would never know the difference. That's how good it is.
You would never know the difference, and that's the truth. And when we go into these places, like we go in, we bring the sauce, right? Like we're trying, we're trying to sell you, right? So we go in, give the 3 jars of sauce. We bring Italian breads. They say, just taste it. Just taste it.
Yeah.
Taste it first, then we'll talk.
Yeah.
The minute they taste it.
They love it.
It's done.
That's
it.
It's done. It's that good.
And there are different flavors, not just marinara.
Well, we got arrabbiata, the spicy one.
Yeah,
we got marinara, tomato basil.
Arrabbiata's
I brought some for everybody. Jill Vitale, your producer, said don't even think about coming in without bringing some. She helped me up.
You can get it, by the way, online, Uncle Steve's sauce online. And the website is
UncleStevesNY.com, or you could call 1-844-NY-SAUCE. and we sell everything online. You can find out what store's closest to you.
You have the right evolution, because before you started making this sauce, which is incredibly successful for the 2 years it's been out there and growing every single day, you wrote books on cooking, all the Goomba guides to everything. So you went from writing the books on cooking to now having this great sauce. Like, there's a natural evolution going on with you.
But it just happened. This was my mother's recipe. We made it organic, non-GMO, kosher for you.
Thank you.
We made it kosher.
Because I'm very, very religious.
Do you eat kosher? You keep a kosher house?
One time. She was about 19.
Oi.
See what I did there?
And Orthodox, too.
Yeah. Somebody told me that there was Orthodox porn. Is that true?
Yes.
There's a porn channel?
Yes.
Really?
Wow.
Yes. Hasids?
Yeah, but it's Friday and Saturday. It's not on. Just so you know, during the Shabbos they shut it.
They use a lot of sheets. You can't see much.
I heard that.
But it's hot.
I heard that.
They got like 19 kids apiece, my people. So what do you think they're doing all the time?
Now, we're going to come back with Steve Schirripa. Now we're going to talk some generic stuff. Because Steve is a funny guy. He's a very opinionated guy.
Funny how?
Funny how? What do you mean? What are you talking about? I'm funny to you? I'm a clown?
I heard we have some friends that are going to run against de Blasio. I love this.
That's right.
I love this.
Curtis Lewa and the Bodino.
Either one of them will be better than de Blasio.
No doubt
Either one of them have my vote. Get this guy out of here. Get him out of the city.
And by the way, his real name is like Heinrich Himmler or something like that.
He's a German. He's a German.
De Blasio is a totally made-up name.
A complete fraud.
He's a total fraud. Steve Schirripa.
Let me say that we're here in part because we know how important this election is to Ohio. Look at Donald Trump's track record when it comes to hard-working men and women. I know, I'm allergic to it too, but you have to look at his record.
Back on Bernie and Sid on 77 WABC. Another line that Paul Begala wrote for: when you cough, make sure you say this. If the cameras are rolling. And she did it dutifully and not bad.
Well. She was coughing. I mean, hold it against her. Give her the death penalty for coughing. I mean, Jesus Christ.
No, but it was a clever line.
It was a great line.
That somebody wrote for her.
She delivers the line well. Schirripa has his lines written too, but it's how you deliver it, not,
I have my lines written. Who writes my lines?
No.
Who writes my lines? I just did a Dr. Urology commercial.
That's right.
But they should add that, right? Like I told you, I got a friend of mine, one of my closest friends. He's 90 years old. He lives in Las Vegas. He said the only time I don't feel like pissing is when I'm pissing. And it's the truth. As we get older, we're getting older, man.
I got to tell you something. I just came back from Ireland with my son, and the poor kid. I had to tell, because I'm drinking coffee to stay awake and what.
Yeah.
And every half hour somewhere, I'm like, I think I'm going to take I'm gonna take a leak over here.
Of course.
He took a picture of me on the side of the highway. I had no idea. I was taking a leak in some Irish bushes.
And I do it all the time, too, during the day and at night. Now, a good 4 or 5 times. So my wife made me go to the doctor 2 weeks ago. It turned into a whole shtick on our show because no guy wants to go to the doctor.
And were you okay?
I'm fine. He stuck his finger up the old
easy.
Bell Parkway.
He does it.
Sid loved it.
Yeah, I'm going back again tomorrow.
Yeah, I know you are.
And by the way,
some sauce.
Twice a week.
He quit to drive for Uber after that.
Yeah.
He's done. He's out. In the studio, Bernie and Sid with Steve Schirripa from Blue Bloods, formerly The Sopranos, but great guy. Uncle Steve's Sauce. Get it at UncleStevesNY.com. We were talking. Well, first of all, I mean the $1 million question. We were talking about de Blasio. You heard Hillary coughing up a lung there, and the whole thing is Donald Trump. Come on. He
doesn't like him.
No, I don't decide. When I know him and I like him personally, I'm not that big. This is what I'm concerned about. Hillary is not a good person. Right. She's a thief, and we know what she's a professional politician, knows how to play the game. But is Donald too crazy? Is he going to get us in a lot of trouble?
Now, you're right about it. See, but you're right.
That's what I'm worried about. I like him personally, but he's starting to getting too crazy.
I'm willing to roll the dice with. I don't know the answer to that question, but I am willing to roll the dice with.
I am not, by the way. With 2 young kids, I'm not. So I'll vote
that's
for
what
her.
I'm saying.
I'd rather have a crook than a liar.
I think with her, at least, it's kind of maybe going to stay close to the scene.
Right.
Here.
Which is not awful. It's not awful.
I don't know with Donald.
It is awful.
He wakes up on the wrong side of the bed one day. He might.
No. It's the exact opposite. She's the one who was all for these wars overseas, the Iraq War, and all this crazy crap. She wanted to go into Libya. She wants to go in to take out Bashir. She wants the war. She's the one he's like, I'm going to pull back. I'm going to save the money that we spend overseas on all these crazy, stupid things we've been doing. We're going to spend it here now.
But is he going to be able to do this?
No, of course not.
They don't let you do it.
Of course. Look, his instincts, he'll be able to do some of it. And he wants a secure border. Who doesn't want a secure border?
I understand that, and I agree with some of the things I agree with, but also we got to get Obama out of here. I mean, this guy just gave the okay to this Colin, what's
Kaepernick?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he gave him a pass. It's okay not to
and
stand for, little at a time.
Believe me when I tell you, she believes the exact same thing, and not only that, she's one of the people who are calling the cops racist. She perpetuates the canard, the lie that the cops
You're not going to convince him. You're not going to convince him. Stop.
No. I'm just, listen, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Hillary.
You're Hillary? Yeah.
I'm not. Listen, I don't think the world.
Have you had Donald on yet?
No. He won't come on with us. He hates me.
Why does he hate you?
Why does he hate
It's
me?
always about you, Sid.
But he
doesn't even know you exist, man.
He does.
He knows me. He likes me, and he agreed to come on. And then he apparently listened to the show. Sid's here calling him a jerk off and stuff like that.
Sid.
So that's why he hasn't.
That would have been big for the show.
I know.
Right. He couldn't contain himself.
But wait a second. I can't continue. You're right. I'm too immature.
He doesn't like you.
But the guy's he's running for president. He's going to get upset when Sid Rosenberg calls him a jerk off.
Yeah, he's got very thin skin.
Yeah.
You
want that guy?
I interviewed him. I interviewed him once with the Tonight Show when I was a correspondent for them, and there was like no getting him. He wasn't going to be the butt of the joke. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what's
and I was like kind of ripping on him a little, and it wasn't happening.
You know what's funny? Ali G, remember Borat? What's his name? Sacha
Cohen.
Ali G, he punked a lot of people. He sat down with Trump. It lasted about 10 seconds. And Trump was like, "Get out of here."
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't get him.
They won't let me talk to you.
And you know who else? O'Reilly. You can't get the better of him either.
No, that's true.
Plus, I had Trump and O'Reilly. No, and I like Bill. And
he's
on
Bill's show every Tuesday night.
And I know him and like him. I see him at the Knicks games all the time. But I interviewed him, and he wasn't having it.
Would you send?
Some guys play.
Right.
Like when I used to do these man on the street things. And
by the way, on Jay Leno, they were fantastic.
Yeah,
hilarious.
We used to do these things for 6 years, and then I went to the Republican convention.
2004. I was there.
Correct.
Yeah.
And, we were just, playing with people. Anderson Cooper was there, this one, that one. Bill O'Reilly and Trump weren't having it. They weren't having it.
Would you send your sauce to both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton? Would you send your sauce to both of them?
Would I send my sauce?
Yeah.
Sure.
Would you be honored, in fact, if Hillary and Bill looked up a Sunday sauce?
Listen, I know Bill a little.
You like him?
Bill. I like Bill. I've met him numerous times.
He's fun, right?
I met him in Pastis, the bar in the Meatpacking District. I was in the bar one night.
I was there last night. No, I'm only kidding.
No, it's not there anymore. But I was in a bar with Johnny V.
Johnny
the chef on the show.
Artie Bucco.
And we stopped. We were at some event, and we were having a drink, and Secret Service came over and said, Bill Clinton would like to say hello to you guys. I'm not lying.
Wow.
And he wasn't the president. He was out of there. But we went to the back, and there was about a dozen people there. His daughter was there.
Wow.
And we talked to him for about 15 minutes. We invited him to the set. We were shooting The Sopranos at the time.
Did you give him any sauce?
No, I didn't have sauce.
I put my sauce on the sausage. The girls love it.
But
tastes good.
Would I be honored? I'm not honored.
Right.
I'm not honored if anybody. I'm honored that my friends, you guys,
we love
sauce.
you.
That's what honors.
So the one time
I don't care about.
So the one time you met Bill Clinton, you really liked him, and the one time you met Donald Trump,
I met him a couple times.
And the one time you met Trump, you didn't like him that much.
I've met Donald a lot of times. I like Donald too.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if I want him to be the president, but I like him.
Okay,
personally.
We'll pursue this.
I saw him at the Ranger game. He's a good cat, He's a good guy. He said, Steve, you've never looked better. My wife says, I think he wants your vote.
And a jar of sauce. Bernie and Sid with Steve Schirripa in studio. We're coming back right after the news.
77 WABC.
Yeah. This album is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing. To all the people that lived above the buildings that I was hustling from that called the police on me when I was
11:42. Bernie and Sid show back on 77 WABC.
Love Nat King Cole.
This is him. That's exactly right. You nailed it again. 19 minutes away from the Curtis and Kuby show. Curtis Sliwa, Ron Kuby. Curtis Sliwa is in studio as we speak. The great Curtis. He is considering running for mayor against Bo Dietl, and Steve Schirripa, our esteemed and honored guest. has already, well, you know how he feels about de Blasio, so.
Actually, yeah, he would be running against Bolshevik Bill de Blasio.
Look, Bo's a friend of mine, and Curtis. I would like. No. We're good. We're
all cool.
We let bygones.
We squashed that.
That's all done. That's in the past. That's all gone. Yeah. I'm all good with Curtis Sliwa, and I would like to call Mayor Sliwa or Mayor Dietel instead of Mayor de Blasio.
How about that?
This guy is the worst. He wanted to separate this city. I've been, and I don't talk politics usually, but we've been talking about this for quite a long time, even from the Imus days.
This bum, this slob,
this guy destroyed the city, man.
He sleeps till 11 o'clock. Yeah, he's destroyed the city. He
destroyed the city. He set out to do this from the beginning, He set out to do it. He does not care about the city. He set out to make his mark. Right. Whether it's good or bad.
He wants it to go backwards. He wants it to go backwards.
It is certainly backwards.
It is. And look what he did to the irresponsible rhetoric leading up to the execution of two cops. Never apologized for any of that crap.
He is a reverse racist. He's a racist.
That's exactly right. Plus, the amount of people masturbating on trains, that's a big issue for you, no?
He doesn't care, What do I have to do with masturbating on trains?
It's a big story.
Where does that come in?
It's just a big story now. It makes the city look bad.
You could slip and fall. It makes for...
Hey, but I got to tell you this, honestly, there's more homeless on the streets.
Oh, absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Curtis, you're out there, no?
Well, first off, let me make mention that, Steve, I had disparaged you in the past, and our boss of all bosses here, Chad Lopez, said, you don't apologize. You're on the shelf. You remember that, Bernard and Sid. It got very testy.
Well, not only that, I think it was a sincere...
No. I was totally off the hook on that. But hearing you as a fellow Brooklynite suggest that Curtis Sliwa, Bo Dieter, or anyone else should replace that fake, phony, fraudulent Fugazi Brooklynite from Cambridge, Massachusetts, a Boston Red Sox fan, I might add.
Absolutely.
That was like music to my ears. And I got the campaign slogan for the weenie waivers.
What is it?
If you misuse it, you should lose it. Castration is your cure. Keep your rocket in your pocket. See, this, and that'll get the female vote. Because guys, they don't care. Nobody ever takes their weenie out unless they want them to.
I care. But I don't want to see it.
But women, obviously, they're constantly confronted with these pervs.
No, it is a big problem. The groping on the subway and the guys who just... What about... Remember the picture of the guy who was smoking crack on the 3 train, and then he took his clothes off.
Yeah.
I mean, this is commonplace in this city, thanks to the slob Bolshevik Bill de Blasio.
I mean, but
who's got to go.
He doesn't care. I mean, he really doesn't care about the city.
And he's a crook,
He cares about himself. And there's some actors that are friends with him, and I won't even mention any names.
I will. Louis C.K.
He loves him.
What are you doing with a punk like this?
Listen, I don't know. I like Louis. I've known Louis for a while. I don't get it.
Right.
Steve Buscemi, who I like and I worked with, he's good friends with this guy.
Oh, my God.
Rosie Perez is good friends with this guy.
Wow. Look, also, he sold out to these rich real estate developers. He was supposed to be the champion of affordable housing.
He keeps slipping away. How does he keep slipping away? This guy is guilty, and he keeps slipping away. He keeps getting away with it. I don't understand how.
He's slick like the woman
like
running
Hillary
for
Clinton.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't get it.
Although he has one plus. As you know, he was Kaiser von Wilhelm. That's what he was born. That was his born name.
That's right.
He decided he's coming to New York with a German last name. You're not going to get very far. Right. So he took his mom's name, de Blasio, and ran for office. But remember, he had a little jungle fever there. He, the Italian stallion, was able to convert his own wife, who had been a hardcore lesbian, wrote editorials about the great life you could have as a lesbian. I'd like to know what his secret was.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good job out of him.
I thought you can't pray away the gay. That's what I always say.
How do you be the mayor of New York and you're seriously? I know it may not mean it, you're wearing a Boston Red Sox hat.
That's horrible. It's a joke. Bloomberg first.
Did you see him throw out the first pitch at City
Field?
Did you see that? That was awful.
Right. It's almost like one of my issues with Chris Christie. I know it sounds crazy, but if you're going to be the governor of New Jersey and the Jets and Giants are bringing money into New Jersey, don't sit in Jerry Jones' box for dollars.
Christie's all confused. He don't know what's going on.
You like him? He loves your sauce, by the way.
I met him once. I met Christie one time. I played him in a skit. Jon Stewart had a benefit, and I was with 2 of the Jersey Shore girls.
Right. Okay.
And Robert Smigel, Triumph.
Yeah.
the funniest guy.
Hilarious.
He's the funniest.
Hilarious.
And he called me up. He said, Steve, I want you to play Chris Christie, and you're going to be with these Jersey Shore girls. And I said,
Snooki?
Man,
Was Snooki one of them?
No, it was Jay Wow and Sammy or something. And I went, I don't like the Jersey Shore, that whole thing. And he said, just read it. And it was the nastiest, the nastiest thing that I could possibly say. Why these girls put themselves in that position? And it was at the Beacon Theater. And listen, I had to wear a fat suit to look like Christie. How about that?
That's
as fat as I am, I had to wear a fat suit to make it look real.
That's fat.
You're going to get mad at me, but after Sopranos, which I miss the most, I miss Sopranos the most. Maybe the show I miss second most of the Sopranos, Jersey Shore.
Really?
I love that show.
Really?
Oh, Mike, the situation.
They didn't make Italians look bad. They made human beings
yes,
look bad.
He watches
the human race look
He
bad.
watches Real Housewives.
I do.
That type of
I love them all.
So do you know there's a one housewife from New Jersey?
Which one? Melissa or Teresa?
No,
Teresa's
Jackie,
husband's in jail.
Jackie.
Oh, Jacqueline.
Who I've known since she's a teenager.
Yeah.
She grew up in Vegas.
Oh, really?
I used to work with her father.
Yeah,
she's a nice
good
girl.
Her husband, Chris, is a nice guy?
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Yes,
there you go.
So anyway, listen.
But I don't watch the show, but he's a good guy.
I like the rapprochement we developed here between you and Curtis Sliwa. I just want to, take it full circle right here, the two of you. You're going to support Curtis Sliwa over de Blasio.
Oh, absolutely,
in
positively.
So
I like Bo. I'll have to listen to them. I would say Mayor Sliwa or Mayor Dietel anytime.
There you go. Okay, all right.
Now, with that said,
I will accept.
With that said, Curtis, Bo Dietel made the official announcement, which raised the ire of Imus. That's fine. On this show that he's running for mayor. You have not really made the official announcement.
Bo had to because he's challenging him in the Democratic primary.
Right.
Whereas I'm a Reform Party member. That's for the general election.
It can wait.
It can wait.
But I will tell you this: one question that Steve must answer, because I listened intently when you've had him as a guest. He said he had been on the shelf for a year, hadn't played basketball, b-ball at Brooklyn College, comes back, hits 8 shots in a row.
Absolutely.
Now, Larry Bird, on his best day, if he were off for a year, couldn't hit 8 shots in a row.
Now, wait a second.
I didn't touch a ball in years. This is during The Sopranos. I get a call from Madison Square Garden. Like in 2000, 2001. We heard you played basketball.
Yeah.
They interview me. Now, this lifelong Knick fan. They interview me on the court at the Garden. It's like in the summer.
Sure.
On the court. They're interviewing me for MSG.
I saw it.
I banged 6 3-pointers.
You outshot Allen Houston. You outshot Allen Houston.
6 feet.
Curtis was an all-star at the time.
There is tape of this.
Yes.
It was not cut.
I saw it.
6 3-pointers. I didn't touch a ball in 2 years.
Yeah. No,
it just was one of those things. My pants were falling. The guy was making jokes. He's going, "Oh, you make those shots. Get it?"
Yeah.
Nice.
I swear to you.
Steve Schirripa from
practiced,
downtown.
He's a good ball player. He was a good ball player.
If I would have practiced, I couldn't have done it.
Yeah, there you
Wow.
go.
All right. So there, Curtis.
Apologies are in order again. Apologies are the mighty Whitey is another Woody Harrelson here.
Remember, I played with Woody Harrelson. I kicked his ass years ago in Vegas when he used to play. When they were shooting a movie there, there was one court in Vegas,
right?
Like where everyone played, and I'm talking pros and actors and stuff. It was behind the Stardust. I kid you not. It is now a strip club called Sapphires. It was once a great gym that all the Rebels played. I've known Larry Johnson. I knew Greg Anthony in high school.
That whole Anderson Hunt,
all those
Stacey Augman. What a great team.
Guys.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Listen, I could sit here all morning and listen to Steve Schirripa.
He's got great stories.
He's got the fantastic. We're sitting here with Steve Schirripa from Blue Bloods, Uncle Steve's Sauce,
Uncle Steve's
NY.com, and we have like a minute left. And listen, the Mets are on their way back, but you're a big Yankee fan.
I'm a Yankee fan. I was there yesterday. They're playing good. They're playing these young guys. They won 5-3.
Big series, Toronto.
A wild card shot, you think?
I think maybe a shot. It's getting a little more exciting, I tell you, because I went earlier in the year. And there's just nothing happening, Teixeira, A-Rod. I mean, it's just no energy.
Old.
Right.
One thing I got to say, a lot of people in the Yankee games, it's very expensive. And you got these people that don't seem they want to be there. They're on their phones the entire time.
I can't even tell you. You look at the seats surrounding home plate.
There's nobody there.
They're empty.
Yeah.
And yet the upper decks are filled. You got the whole borough of the Bronx dying to get in. They can't afford it.
I go to the games. Yankees would take care of me over the years. Mitch Modell, who's a good friend. I mean, he's giving you. He's got 6 seats behind
home plate.
he gives them a lot, and you eat for free and all that, but you have a beer, it's like $14.
If you don't make six figures or higher, you can't go to. You can't afford a Yankee game.
No,
it's ridiculous. It's insulting.
I'll tell you a funny story. I was at the Garden, and I'm a big Knicks fan, Madison Square Garden fan. I'm sitting next to Dolan, and I ordered like popcorn and water. And just to be nice, I'm at the game. I said, "You guys, Jim, you want anything?" He went, "Nah, too expensive." Which is, he has a good sense of humor. He's a good cap, and he said that, "Nah, it's too expensive."
Yeah, that's hilarious, yo, right there. Steve Schirripa on Bernie and Sid. Steve,
thank
listen,
you guys. Curtis, good to make up with you.
Yes.
Good to say hi.
No tongue after the show,
We're all
fellas.
good.
Listen, always a
and
pleasure.
good luck running.
And an honor. Yes.
Good luck
I buried my
the
bones
Blasio.
with you, Steve. I buried my bones with you.
Good luck. Good luck
There you
beating
go.
de Blasio. Bo Dito beat de Blasio. Anybody.
All right, Steve Schirripa back on Bernie and Sid after this.
77 WABC.